Hey y'all, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Today we're going to talk about water retention and water in general. I'm just going to give a brief overview and just kind of give you an example of what's going on. The little rustling you hear in there, see, there's Chloe running through it. Well folks, everywhere I'm standing right now was once mud. When we first got here, it was mud, and every single rain event, no matter how small, would come through this draw. I know it's tough for you to see, but basically there's a draw coming this way all the way out to the road. It would take all the material in here and push it out into the road with every single rain event. And part of that, and I keep going back to it because I know it's a bigger problem out there than a lot of folks are willing to admit. And that is people having too many cows or sheep or chickens or pigs in one place for too long, or in one place isolated to the point where they absolutely decimate the ground. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is I'm going to talk about remediation and what it took. Now, keep in mind, for every 1% of organic matter you put down into the soil, it increases the water retention of that soil by somewhere around 20,000 gallons per acre. Now, folks, I don't know what an Olympic swimming pool is, but that's a lot. And that's just 1%. 1%, that's insignificant. Now, I haven't tested this. I don't know what that is. I don't know where we started, but I know it was next to nothing. But I know this much, that no matter how much it rains at this point right now, even we get some bad rain every blue moon out here, but no matter how much it rains, if you look at the topography, it all comes down into this bowl, and it should come out this way. Everything, by and large, no matter the rain, is retained right here in the soil. There's no more dragging the soil out into the road and then eventually to the Mississippi and then out to the ocean. There's not a whole lot of that going on, if at all, on this property. So that's what I want to encourage you. So the sheep have just recently been through here. They knocked it down, and now it's getting to the point where it's growing back up. That's another video altogether. But what I want to say is, if you responsibly move your animals, like right up here, we have the sheep, and we're about to move those guys here in a minute. If you can responsibly take your animals through the landscape, folks, this isn't hard to learn, and you don't leave them too long, you're putting that organic material back into the soil, which is exactly where you want it. And the number one place, you can think about your rainwater catchment, you can think about all the different ponds you might want to install, you can think about all those things, but think about where you can store the most water. Right there in your soil. That's where you want it. Because honestly, if we were to do an aerial, we didn't bring the drone down here, but even now, when we haven't had rain with any real great consistency as of late, if we were to take an aerial view, and we will probably do that in the future, you go above the property I'm standing on right now, and then you go to the neighbors to the east there, and even to the west, you will see a vast difference. You will see gray, and green right in between. Over here, they have a bunch of donkeys, and they're allowed to go wherever they want. They're not managed. They just pretty much do whatever they want. And those donkeys basically decimate the landscape. Here, everything is moved in cells or paddocks. They move through the landscape, deposit their stuff, their organic material behind, and then move on. That's the way you want to do it. So folks, we literally, where I'm standing right now, with just a little bit of moisture we had last night, I'd be sloshing around in here in my mud boots. Today I'm not. And it has all to do with decent management. And I'm not saying this, I'm not doing any of this to say, oh, look at us, we're doing things so great, because in truth, we make plenty of mistakes, and we try to expose them as often as possible here. The point I'm trying to convey, the most important thing I'm trying to get at, is that you want that, not only the organic material into your soil, you want that water, you want that rain from the sky in your soil and not down the Mississippi Delta. So hopefully that helps. Remember, subscribe, tell your friends about us, evangelize this information, but most importantly, do it yourself. Till next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion. We'll see you next time.